All right, let's be honest. You probably don't think much about that stack of bricks on your roof, right? At least, not until something goes wrong. Well, today, we're going to dive into chimney restoration and why it's actually one of the most important things you can do to protect your entire home, literally from the top down. So, think about it this way. What if your chimney is actually trying to tell you something? Seriously, it's not just sitting up there, it's sending out signals. The real question is, are you paying attention before a tiny warning sign turns into a huge, expensive disaster? Okay, so let's talk about those signals. These are the clear, unmistakable warning signs that your chimney is in serious trouble. And ignoring them, it's not a small risk. We're talking major structural damage, water leaks all over the place, and even worse, house fires. So what exactly should you be looking for? Well, on the outside, keep an eye out for bricks that are cracked or even worse, fleeking apart. That's a thing called spalling. Check the mortar, the stuff between the bricks. Is it crumbling away? Then head inside. Any water stains on the walls near your fireplace? That's a huge red flag. And hey, if you see rust or if the whole chimney stack is visibly leaning, yeah, you need to pick up the phone and call a pro, like yesterday. Now, it's also really, really important to get this straight. There's a huge difference between a repair and a restoration. Think of a repair as a Band-Aid, right? It just patches up one small specific problem. But a restoration? Oh, that's like major surgery. It gets to the root of the problem and rebuilds the whole system to make sure it's safe and working the way it's supposed to. So, you might be wondering, how do chimneys even get this bad in the first place? Well, a huge part of the answer, especially if you live in a place like New Jersey, is the weather. It's kind of like this invisible enemy, just relentlessly attacking the brick and mortar, day in and day out. Yeah, that specific climate mix you get in a state like New Jersey, it creates the absolute perfect storm for chimney damage. You've got these brutal, freezing winters, and then they're followed by hot, sticky, humid summers. That constant back and forth puts an unbelievable amount of stress on your chimney structure. And if we really drill down into the causes, the number one enemy by a long shot is what's called the freeze-thaw cycle. It's pretty simple. Water seeps into tiny cracks in the bricks, then it freezes, and when water freezes, it expands. That expansion literally blows the masonry apart from the inside out. Then you throw in some heavy rain, all that summer humidity, and maybe some salty coastal air, and boom, it's a total recipe for disaster. See, all this damage, it just adds up and up over time. In a climate like this, it's really not a question of if your chimney will need serious work, it's a question of when. And typically, you're looking at a window of about 15 to 25 years before a full-blown restoration becomes absolutely necessary to keep it safe. Okay, so what does a full restoration actually mean? Let's break down the build and really look at the critical parts that need to be fixed. A proper restoration, it goes way deeper than just the bricks you see from the street. It focuses on 4 absolutely critical areas of the chimney system. And getting all 4 of them right, that's the only way you can really guarantee the chimney is going to be safe and totally weatherproof. First up, you've got the masonry itself, the bricks and mortar. This is where a process called tuck pointing comes in. They literally grind out all that old, failed mortar and replace it, swapping out any broken bricks along the way. And this isn't just about making it look pretty. This is what restores the chimney's actual structural integrity. Next on the list is the flashing. This is that metal seal right where the chimney pokes through your roof. And let me tell you, it is a major, major source of leaks. In a restoration, they rip out all the old, rusted flashing and replace it, usually with super durable stainless steel, to create a perfect, watertight seal. All right, moving to the very top, we have the crown. The easiest way to think of this is like a little roof for your chimney. If this concrete slab at the top is cracked, water just pours right into the whole structure from above. So a restoration means rebuilding that crown, usually with reinforced concrete, and making sure it has just the right slope to shed water away from the opening. And finally, we've got what might be the single most critical safety component, the flue liner. This is the channel on the inside that safely guides smoke and dangerous gases out of your house. If that liner is cracked, you have a massive fire hazard on your hands. So a proper restoration often includes installing a brand new, modern stainless steel liner. This part is non-negotiable for safety. Okay, so now we know what gets fixed. But how does it all happen? What does the process actually look like from a homeowner's point of view? Let's walk through it, from that first inspection all the way to completion. But hold on, before we do, I have to give a really important warning here. This is not a do-it-yourself job, seriously. A quick patch-up job on your own can actually hide a much deeper, more dangerous problem. Or worse, you could accidentally create a serious fire hazard. This is one of those projects where you absolutely 100% need to call in a licensed and insured professional. The way the pros handle it is very methodical. It always starts with a thorough inspection to figure out exactly what's going on. After that, they carefully tear down and prep the damaged sections. Then comes the main event, all the rebuilding and repointing. And finally, they finish with the most crucial last step, sealing everything up to protect all that new work from the elements. And of course, the materials they use are absolutely key to making the job last. We're talking about high-grade mortar that's not only strong but is also matched to your home's original look. We're talking stainless steel for the flashing and liners, reinforced concrete for the crown, and these special breathable waterproof coatings that keep water out but still let the masonry breathe. It's all top-notch stuff. All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room. What does all this cost, and is it really worth it? The best way to think about this isn't as a cost, but as an investment in protecting your home and your family. So yeah, the price tag can range quite a bit, from under $1,000 for smaller jobs to $10,000 or even more for a complete rebuild. But just look at what that money prevents. We're talking about preventing a total structural collapse, stopping those nasty water leaks that cause mold, eliminating serious fire hazards, and avoiding thousands and thousands of dollars in damage to the inside of your home. When you really frame it like that, taking care of this isn't just about protecting your property value, is it? It's about protecting the people inside. It's about your family's safety. And honestly, you just can't put a price tag on that. The great news is, after the restoration is done, keeping it in great shape is actually pretty simple. All you got to do is get it inspected once a year, have that waterproof sealant reapplied every few years, and make sure the flue stays clean from creosote buildup. That's it. That's all it takes to make sure this investment lasts for decades to come. And that brings us right back to where we started. Your home is always talking to you, always sending signals from the foundation all the way up to the very top of that chimney. So the only real question left is, are you ready to listen?